Okay, California Proposition 50 is a measure that's going to be on the ballot November 4th, 2025, so right around the corner. It's actually a special election. It has to do with redistricting, specifically for the U.S. congressional districts in California. And looks like it's a personal project for our illustrious governor, Gavin Newsom. I don't fully understand the entire story, but it will definitely affect you if you're a gun owner. I can guarantee you that from what I've read and seen. So I wanted to bring an expert on to talk about it. So Assemblyman Carl DeMaio, who is leading the charge against Prop 50, is here to explain to us exactly what's going on. Hey, Carl, how you doing?
Hey, Mike, thanks for having me on.
You bet. So walk us through, like maybe give us a little bit of history, like why is this happening? What has happened, where are we at, and then what the future is, kind of take us through this.
So all California voters are going to get a ballot in the mail around October 3rd, 4th, 5th, just in a few weeks from now, a special election statewide on Prop 50. And it has a deceptive title on it, but the initiative would basically give politicians in California back the power to gerrymander, to manipulate the lines of their own election districts so that they get a personal or partisan advantage in the next election. Gerrymandering is bad, it is corrupt, it is awful, it is unfair, and that's why in 2010, the voters in California collected signatures and put a reform measure on the ballot in the 2010 election to strip the politicians in California of the power to draw the lines of the districts. And instead, the districts are drawn every 10 years by an independent commission made up of citizens randomly selected. The map cannot be drawn with any partisan criteria. The criteria are geography, communities of interest, Voting Rights Act, but no partisan or politician advantage. And the map has to be bipartisan. It has to, get enough support from the Republican commissioners, the Democrat commissioners, the independent commissioners. So it's a very open and fair process. It's produced maps that are competitive and reflect community ties. All of that would be thrown out the window if Prop 50 passes. The politicians would get the power back to manipulate the lines, and that's why we're urging a no vote on Prop 50. And Reform California is leading the fight to make sure that the districts are not manipulated. And if they are manipulated, two things happen. If Prop 50 passes, two bad things happen. Number one, the politicians get back the power to manipulate lines of the districts, and they will never give it back. They say it's temporary. That's a lie. Politicians never give back power when they seize it. And secondly, they're manipulating the districts in California right now to get rid of the Republicans. And so what you'll have is 5 less Republican members in California. And that means you're going to have a likelihood that the Democrats will take control of the House of Representatives in the 2026 election, which means the Second Amendment is once again on the chopping block at the national level from bad laws that they're going to try passing at the national level.
So what was the I hear a lot about, Texas did it, why is it different? In other words, playing devil's advocate, if Texas did it, why is it okay there and it's not okay here in California? What's wrong with that statement?
It's not okay in either area. I've been against gerrymandering no matter who does it, whether it's a Republican doing it for Republicans or Democrats doing it for Democrats, whether it's in Texas or Timbuktu. Never should politicians be able to gerrymander districts. It should all be done by citizens drawing the lines. Since citizens are the ones electing politicians, the citizens should also be the ones drawing the lines. That's the best way to do an election. And in California, we have the gold standard. We have the Citizens Commission. It's in our state constitution, put there not by politicians, put there by the voters. And that's why we want to keep the Citizens Commission by defeating Prop 50, voting no on 50.
That's so odd.
If Texas wants to draw their lines, the way they should do it is they should do it with the Citizens Commission. we should not be giving up our gold standard of citizens drawing lines just because Texas is doing something bad. That's, you learned in kindergarten, two wrongs don't make a right. Just because someone else is doing it does not mean that you follow suit. This is what the politicians in California want us to do. They're using Texas as an example to get the power back.
But wasn't there a lawsuit in Texas, though? It wasn't. They didn't just decide to do it one day, right? Didn't Texas? They were fighting a lawsuit, and something happened, and they said, "Hey, your districts are basically not diverse enough, something like that." Or is there,
No,
is there more to be?
yeah. Basically, the Texas Democrats filed the lawsuit, and as a result of them suing, they kind of hoisted themselves on their own petard. Now that Trump's in office, now they're saying, "Oh no, we didn't mean it." Well, the reality is a federal court ruled that the 5 districts in Texas were unconstitutional, and so they had to redraw them. And so, yes, it is a different reason why Texas is drawing the maps. But I wanted to answer your question directly,
Sure.
which is if anyone draws maps, it shouldn't ever be politicians.
Sure.
And so that's why we urge a no vote on Prop 50, and we encourage Texas to do a citizens commission when they redraw their map. But there's a reason why Texas is redrawing their map. They have to. California is doing it just because partisan politics, and that's not a good enough reason.
I think that that's an important point, that really there's nothing was happening. California just decided, hey, we want the national government to be more Democratic Party, so we're going to redraw our lines, and we're going to blame it on what's happening in Texas, even though that's a completely different situation. Now, how popular is this thing? In other words, are you seeing broad support in California, or how's it looking as far as popularity?
If you ask California voters, even in the blue state of California, who should draw the lines, 80% of them say the citizens, not the politicians. Even when you say, well, but Texas is doing it, so we should do it. It's only a third of voters in California say, fine, let's redraw the lines. And 66% say, no, we shouldn't be redrawing the lines. The reason why right now the initiative shows a 50-50 split, it's very close, is that there's a misleading ballot title on this initiative, that Newsom and the Democrats are trying to mislead the voters with a false and misleading ballot title. They say, should we have a temporary map drawn by the and at the same time keep the independent citizens redistricting commission? We know that that's not actually going to happen. There's nothing in this initiative that keeps the independent redistricting commission involved.
Interesting. So there's a real chance that we can defeat this. This is not a lost cause. In fact, in special elections, the right side of the political spectrum in California tends to do better. So there's a very real chance this can get defeated, right?
Oh, there is, as long as people get the information and are not fooled by that ballot title. Yeah. I had a gas tax repeal back in 2018. They did the same damn thing. They took the title off my initiative, gas tax repeal, and they put a whole different title on it that confused people. So we do have to run a very aggressive campaign. And that's why I'm asking people to join us at defendfairelections.org. That's the website, defendfairelections.org. If you want to have a fair election in California, it takes people getting involved. Get off the couch, into the fight. Defendfairelections.org. We have events up and down the state of California, lots in San Diego County, and we need everyone to get off the sidelines and into the fight at defendfairelections.org.
Okay, great. Defendfairelections.org. Need to get involved. I think Carl's the best source of information on defeating Prop 50. Remember, you want to defeat Prop 50. You want to vote no.
So yeah, it's a no vote. No vote on Prop 50.
So get all your friends and family and loved ones and coworkers and everybody you know to show up at the special election. They're not going to, we're not trained to go in off years in November and vote. So you have to train. You got to get them, and train them to go to the polls in November. rather fill out their ballot and return it in November. But then there's a lot of effort being put into this. So can you make a donation at defendfairelections.org?
Defendfairelections.org has donation opportunities, volunteer opportunities, and events. So we would love to see you at one of our events. If you can't volunteer or come to an event, just chip in a contribution. $5 is all it takes. Defendfairelections.org.
Great. Okay. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get involved. Help Carl and everybody involved defeat this thing. And I really think this is an important thing. This will directly impact how California delegates or congressmen vote on your Second Amendment rights, and we just can't afford that. We can't afford these ridiculous games they're playing. Carl, thank you so much for your leadership. Is there anything else that people need to know about Prop 50?
That's it. Tell your friends and family, vote no, because they're not going to get a fair title on the ballot.
Perfect. Thank you, Carl. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for watching Gun Owners Radio. I hope you loved that clip. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and follow us on social media, and check out our website at gunownersradio.com.